There's no shortage of smart home products, and many of them do all of the same things. But then there's SwitchBot, a company whose catalog started with a little robot, whose fun-forward simplicity has continued across the rest of their products. And it may not be obvious at first glance, but SwitchBot's actually powering a few things behind me right now. This is Pocketnow, and I'm Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? Let's put a little bit of robot into my home using SwitchBot. So in this video, sponsored by SwitchBot, I'm going to bring a bit of an overview of all of the products that they send me. What's great about all of them is that there can be a little bit of synergy, building up to an easy-to-use ecosystem. We have to start with the little robot that could, the tiny device that started it all. SwitchBot is named after this little square in my hand that is super simple to understand but actually has a ton of creative possibilities. And downloading the SwitchBot app on your smartphone gives you a simple hub for all of the products that you might be working with. The Bluetooth low energy connection makes this little bot show up right away. Once you give this bot a little test, a little whir sounds out and reveals a tiny arm that rotates out of the top. Yes, this is literally a little robot that will push any button that you want pressed. That's it. While it might sound a little bit too simple of a concept, think about it for a second. Smart switches, especially for things like household lights, often require some sort of extra installation, and not everyone is comfortable with doing that electrical work. If you're a renter, you're not always able to even make these kinds of customizations. But with a little bit of adhesive on the back of this SwitchBot bot, you can stick it just below or right up against any switch that you want, which allows you to make the switch controllable from anywhere within your Bluetooth range, or beyond, but we'll get to how we can make that happen a little bit later. Now, bear in mind that the bot works best with these larger rocker-style switches, and while it is a small little thing, it won't fit literally everywhere, and the VHB adhesive on the back can sometimes not stick hard enough. Also, if you want the on and off binary ability, you can actually add a small attachment that also adheres to the button that you're using so that the robot arm going back and forth will pull back the very portion it originally pushed down. Now in my house, we've put the bot on a few of these particular switches, and with SwitchBot, let there be light. Now, let me reiterate, the bot will push any button you want pressed. That's where the creativity comes in. Think of all the buttons in your life that you always have to physically come up to and press yourself. Now, a little robot has your back. My parents literally made this a reality by putting a SwitchBot bot on their drip coffee maker. They set up the coffee maker the night before and then use either the app or a remote, which we'll get to later, upon waking up in the morning so that the coffee gets going before they do. In the app, each connected bot can be put on a schedule to do their thing, and you can change up the push mode. Either just do a straight up button press or do the on and off rocker mode that I mentioned earlier. It's quirky, and it works best in rather specific situations, but I chuckle without fail whenever it successfully does its job. I mean, I literally have little robots in my life now. And the philosophy of simple but effective devices continues. We'll move on to a particularly important product, especially for me living in dry Southern California. This right behind me is the Smart Humidifier. It's easy on the eyes with an obvious cylindrical shape. All that has to be installed is a filter bit in the bottom portion, and then you can just put water in and plug it right in. The button on the front activates the 3 different cool misting modes, or you can hold it down to trigger a pairing mode for the Bluetooth connection, just like with pretty much all of SwitchBot's products. And then there's an auto mode, which will be able to monitor the immediate vicinity. If humidity is between 40 and 55%, this will actually turn off or just go to the lower modes until it needs to ramp back up to hit that range again. Controlling the humidifier in the app allows you to access the same different modes, but also opens up those scheduling features. And with that, the humidifier just does its job without too much added complication. All you need to do is just open up the lid here and then fill it back up when you need to. And in dry conditions, especially overnight, a product like this is super useful. Some smarts are just added in to add to its value. Now, on the topic of things that you might not have realized you wanted to be smart, how about your curtains? One of the main products that SwitchBot wanted us to check out is their robot curtain device. They have a few different versions depending on what kind of curtains you have, including for different rail systems, but this curtain set is using a rod system, which asks for this edition of the curtain bot. Like the products that we've looked at thus far, the setup is really simple. Press and hold the button on the back here to start up the Bluetooth connection, and then you tighten these 2 pieces around the curtain rod, and then just perform the calibration. The wheels on the curtain bot will go along the rod to the points you select as the fully open and the fully closed positions, and of course, you can then control them along that path via the app. That's it. Now, for example, like with this set here, curtains that are behind some sort of other furniture can be bothersome to reach out to, so of course making them smart is just, well, smart. But what if you need to charge the batteries? Well, SwitchBot have thought of that too with an ingenious addition, a literal solar panel. This connects to the USB port that's on the back, and then you just have to install it on the rod in such a way where light will hit this panel. The solar panel will then keep the curtain bot topped up as a result, and then you pretty much never have to touch them again. So far they've been working as advertised for us, keeping the battery level consistently at top levels for the last week that we've been using it. One thing to note though, if you have a set of curtains like the two we have here at the house, you would have to get 2 curtain bots. After you get those curtain bots into the application, you can actually group them together so that they will open simultaneously from the middle and then of course close together from the sides. That way, no matter what kinds of curtains you have, whether they are rail type, rod type, single, or double, SwitchBot's got your back with their curtain bots. You can then go into the application and set the curtains to open or close based on certain conditions with the help of the next product, this smart thermometer. It's exactly what it sounds like. You add in the included AAA batteries, and then you get a thermometer that connects to the app directly via Bluetooth at first. You get a readout of the temperature and the humidity level, which are also recorded in the app so you can follow the trends in that area. Those metrics can then be used as conditions in the scenes and routines that I already talked about. For example, if the temperature gets too high in the area behind me, it can trigger the curtains to close. If it gets too dry in the area behind me, the humidifier can be turned on. And if it gets too hot, maybe you can have a bot on a fan nearby that just presses the on button. There are ways of making all of these products work together, which all makes them that much cooler. Now you know why the thermometer in my hand here, the curtains, and the humidifier are all basically in the same place. And finally, the last couple bits that tie it all together. SwitchBot do make remotes that have 2 buttons, which can be mapped to everything but the humidifier. In our case, the button on this remote is an easy way for my parents to just activate the coffee maker bot while they sleepily make their way to the kitchen as the coffee is being made. And lastly, the way that all of these products can tie together, the hub. The hub mini, in my case, connects to a power supply and then gets onto the home Wi-Fi network, after which time all of the products which were previously relying on Bluetooth connections to a specific phone can now be controlled and accessed by multiple people and services via the cloud. Now my parents can sign onto the app on their phones and immediately access all of the devices. Not to mention, when we're not home, we can see all of the statuses of the devices and control them remotely. Best of all, this cloud connection makes every device available to smart assistant services. So if you're an Amazon Echo type or an Apple person, you can use all of your favorite hot words to control every bot, every humidifier, every curtain device in your home that you have installed. In my case, I'm a Google Assistant type, so close the curtains. Set the humidifier to high. And so, there you have it. A family of products that all start out really simple with direct Bluetooth connections, but then can be extended to become proper cloud products with a simple mini hub. Even better, they all work together in very synergistic ways. Check them out for yourself in the link below and let us know what you might use the little bots in particular for in your own household. Thanks again to SwitchBot for sponsoring this video. For more smart home tech like this and beyond, make sure you subscribe to Pocketnow for video content that is coming out pretty much every single day. For now, drop some likes on this video and get down in the comments to let us know your thoughts. And from there, we're going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you in our next video.